Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik Ziiiq here again today to bring you episode 2 of whatever I named this series, something about being a better pilot. So today I am flying the Aegis Gladius? I forget, Gradius, I think it's Gradius. And the reason for this is I don't actually own this ship, but I've flown all the ships now. And I find that this one actually handles the best. Like, I like how it feels, I like the weapons it has, which it has one physical gun here, a scorpion, and 2 repeaters there. And it has 5 missiles total, 2 double platforms and 1 single platform. But mainly it actually just handles phenomenally. I actually on my second lap with this ship beat my record that I had with the M50, which is kind of ridiculous considering the M50 is supposed to be a racing ship and this is supposed to be a bomber, I think. So I am very much enjoying the Gladius here. And just to kind of, or Gradius? Oh, Jesus, I can't remember what it's called now. But I felt like I should just show it off a tiny bit in free flight mode, show you what the weapons can do. I can't really focus missiles on anything, unfortunately. But I can give you some stunning exterior views of it flying around the free flight mode. So let's actually have some of those going on. I like the idea of visiting that little asteroid belt I see out in the distance there. So right now it's going its maximum speed. It is not the quickest ship that I have ever flown, but it is pretty much the most satisfying. I like how all of its wings kind of pivot, or all of its fire comes from like the same 3 points and kind of merges into 1 point. I know that's a very weird thing to like, that I shouldn't like it much, but basically, the symmetry of the ship I just find very pleasing too. I like the design a lot. And I like how it looks and I love how it flies. It just seems kind of quiet and always in control. So, things that were mentioned to me for how to get better. There were a lot of them. Woohoo! And I crash immediately. So there were a lot of things that were told me on how to get better. I'm actually going to go ahead and eject. But things that were told me for how to get better. First of all, somebody commented that he had no idea how I was flying with my controls way up here, like really awkwardly. And as a response, I have made the most ghetto smack flight seat on the face of the planet. So essentially what I've done is I've taken some pillows so I sit more forward on the couch. And I have my piano bench here with some, there's supposed to be like a drawer lining but I'm using it to keep my, it's this stuff here. It's like rubbery and you put it on the bottom of drawers often, but I'm just keeping that under my controls. So the piano bench goes between my legs, my throttle is over here on a stack of books, and this is making sure I sit more forward. As well as that, I have a little extra button thing, you know, just for spare commands if I want to land or something, and my keyboard up here with my mouse. I also have my glass of coffee, which is quintessential if you're going to be a space trucker, so I have a sip of that. Another couple things people mentioned, somebody said I might want to turn down the sensitivity of the controls, which I did. I have actually turned it down from 1, which is what it was at, to 0.3, and you can see how much I'm moving my hand here. I'm still not moving it much, but it's controlling plenty. And if I want to like do a quick spin, then of course controller sensitivity for joysticks are on a swivel or on a curve, so it gets more sensitive the more you actually crank on them. So it isn't just like a straight line, it's a curve for sensitivity, which is really nice. Another thing, I'm gonna fly it in this mode more because I just like the look of this ship. Another thing that I had commented to me is that it's basically a matter of deciding when to accelerate and when to let go of the accelerator. And also, just don't keep your hand on the boost button. All the boost does in this game is it isn't really an afterburner, it doesn't make you go faster, but it increases your engine efficiency in a direction. So if I were to suddenly turn around here and hold the boost button, it increases the efficiency in that direction until I reach my top speed, but only until I reach my top speed. After that, it doesn't do anything. So I should use my booster a bit more sparingly. And also, if I strafe, it actually increases the effectiveness of all thrusters in any direction. So if I were to strafe up, let's say, and then hit the boost, I would start strafing up a lot faster. So that's what I learned, and that's what I'm going to take with me into the next race. And I'm not going to do a new race, I just thought I'd give you some interesting flying footage here. It is a beautiful game. I just really love flying around these asteroid belts here and dodging the asteroids. It's actually kind of difficult to fly in third person here, but it doesn't stop me from doing it. So I will be back in a couple seconds. Oh, I forgot that I actually need to, I don't have a hotkey set for pausing the recording. So, I'm gonna spin out of control and I'll be back very shortly. And I am back. So this is the ship I was flying. I wanted to give you guys a better view of it, like a quick zoom around. So, as you can tell, very, very nice and sleek, kind of a low profile. You could easily turn it sideways and avoid being shot. Just a generally nice looking ship. Pretty basic though. The real good thing about it is that it is ultimately easy to fly. So I'm about to fly it to show you that. I think last time I did 6 laps in a total of, or was it 5 laps in total of 8 minutes and 34 seconds-ish. So I'm going to start the timer here. Let's get ready to race. So I'll press the start button, the second. Okay, so right out the gate, you can tell it's a pretty quick ship. It moves fairly fast. And the main thing that I keep talking about is it's just so easy to control. Like those little gaps that I was having such a hard time making before, really easy to make it through with this ship. Actually, almost a bit too easy to make it through at times, as you could see just there. Almost read it out, making too sharp of a turn. And you might also notice since I turned the controls down and moved my hands to a position that isn't the most uncomfortable position possible, I am actually a lot more in control of pretty much everything on my ship. I'm making it through faster. Like, this is clearly a slower ship than the M50, but it barely even matters just because of how nice it is to fly. Like with the M50, I just keep crashing into anything, probably slightly because of the speed. With this one, I just seem to be able to go through very, very easily. Remember, I'm still looking for help. A comment of, "This was great flying," while appreciated, and I really would appreciate it, is not something that will actually help me. So I decided to kind of level out by going lower there. It may have been a bit of a mistake. And let's even out. Lovely lap time. First lap in 1 minute 23 seconds. So remember, my best time with the M5, or M50, sorry, was 1 minute and 21 seconds. So I've only passed that by 2 seconds. And that was my best lap out of like 100. This was my first lap so far with the Gladius. Gladius is a better way of pronouncing that. Unfortunately, I think I'm still wasting a tiny bit of distance, or when it comes to like maneuvering into weird spots. So what I should really be trying to do is go over this sign, then go in through the easiest way down there. Lovely, 2,000 meters. I'm still making the mistake of pretty much constantly holding the booster, which is my thumb right there, and which I definitely don't want to be doing. But what I do want to do is make it through this little shortcut again. The ship is a bit bigger than the M50, so through areas like that it tends to be a tiny bit tighter, and I've clipped my wing quite a few times. And now I know how it must feel to be a bird in captivity, because man, it sucks flying without a wing. Or without both wings, for that matter. So, almost ready out there, but very gentle ride so far, not pulling too many heavy G's. I might have to move on to the next race, which scares the hell out of me because the next track that is currently programmed in is horrifyingly hard in comparison to this one. So that lap, I did not actually see the time in which I completed it, and I've kind of screwed up this initial turn here, getting distracted. That is all right though. So 2 laps in, making barely any mistakes, and I like how I took that corner there. I might not have cut off much time, but I think I pretty much made the turn as smooth as possible. I might actually be ready for some combat soon. By the way, I turned my controls down. Like, they started out at 1, they are now at 0.3. So if you're using the Ziiiq or X52 flight system or the X52 Pro, remember that it's pretty sensitive to begin with. There's no shame in turning the sensitivity down, because man, I'm getting a lot of response out of these controls and I'm barely moving them. So let's try to not pass out here due to some stupid plays. And I have done my first crash. I think I am actually stuck inside the ring. Okay. Fortunately, it did count me as getting to that ring. It's an unfortunate crash. Unfortunate series of mistakes, to say the least. You might also notice the flying is a bit less stressful now. Like, I got a comment from Reality John saying the game is just stressful even to watch. But I think that's just because I was like cranking on the controls and turning all different kinds of directions. So let's go through one more lap, or let's do 5 laps. So that was 3 there. And see what my average time is. Because I might not be faster than my fastest lap with the M50, but I'm definitely going to be faster overall than I was with the M50, especially considering how many crashes I had with it, which I think was like 3 or 4 even after all the practice. I had to get up to the point where I was even comfortable showing you guys how well I was doing. Alright, let's grab a good line here. Get through as close as possible. I'm going to cut off the top of this ring and still try for that like really sharp cut upwards into the shortcut. So the trick for this one, or I find the trick for this one, is to pull up holding the afterburner and then pretty much instantly change directions and then aim at the target. Because aiming at the target right away is a bit hard considering you don't exactly know where it's going to be. Or I don't anyways, not instinctively. So now I'm going to try this in a bit of a dangerous way where I come in from the top and then... There we go. Lovely. One more lap. I might actually beat my record time. 20... Whoa! I don't know exactly the milliseconds on my record time. Because that was actually pretty close. That was like 21.5. Which I think is awesome. I was really afraid I was going to clip my wing there, but as it turns out, I had nothing to worry about. So I kind of did an oversteer there just in order to get around the corner using the afterburners. Not even sure if the afterburners are still working. They do have a limited amount of fuel. I'm pretty sure they would be though. That was my 4th lap, so this is my last lap. I want to cut that one as close as possible over the sign, but I don't exactly know how low the wings go on this ship. I wouldn't kill for this ship, but man, I love this ship. I may sell my Starfarer in order to pick one up. Except I really want to pick one up with LTI, and I don't even know if that is a possibility. There we go, up and around. I am graying out a bit, and I'm also flying upside down. So, you know, that's not bad, but it's definitely not the best. And I lost some time due to it and crashed. No. Okay, hitting heck. Reintegrate, come on. Okay, fortunately I did make it through there. See what I mean about clipping the wing? It has a bit of a wider wingspan than the M50, so not quite used to flying it through the hoops yet. But I'm still only at 1 minute and 24 seconds, 25, and 30. So that was 3 minutes. That was 6 minutes and 30-ish seconds. I know that kind of broke the point of timing it. Here, let me actually stop. But I accidentally hit the function button instead of the stop button on the timer. So, 6 minutes and 40 seconds and 5 laps total comes up to 1 minute and 23 per lap. Either way, 24 per lap, something around those lines. I'm just gonna fly around and not even care about the course. I think I have improved, but I'm sure there is a lot more I can learn. Specifically about different types of... I don't know what I can learn. But I know that I'm not very good at targeting. I guess the next thing I will do is show you guys some combat and show you how embarrassingly bad... Whoa, that was my gun just hanging out. That was a bit glitchy. With my gun hanging out in my cockpit there. So the next thing I'll do is show you my combat and show you how bad I am at tracking with the weapons. Because I am really horrible at actually hitting things. Let's try for a bit of a riskier line since I'm not really keeping track right now. Yeah. So next thing on the list is combat and how bad I am at that. I seem to not be able to hit with missiles fairly often. I think in my off time I will try to sell my Starfarer and pick up one of these in exchange, because I really like this ship. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you really enjoyed it, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It keeps the channel running, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.